Every Tuesday, you can get yourself a copy of our newspaper, iDiskiTV, for absolutely free. Every shop right in the Gauteng province, you just go there, get yourself the paper. And on Fridays, the paper will be available across the nation on our website, iDiskiTimes.co.za. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. Hugo Broos announces squad to face Morocco next week. We'll be covering that game here on iDiskiTV. Next week, Saturday, Morocco will play against Bafana Bafana in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. Both teams have already qualified. And yet again, there's been talks about who he decided not to select. Khuliso Mudau, defender of the season, not being picked at that squad as well. Instead, Nyiko Mobbie continues to be picked for Bafana Bafana. Of course, all of these matches are unfolding in front of us. If we are sober and we are watching with our own eyes open, then we know who's better than the other. It's as simple as that. If you're sitting and watching with your eyes, you know which defender is better than the other. Khuliso Mudau is the best defender in one-on-one situations in South Africa, and that's why he was chosen as the defender of the season. Junior Khanye, our analyst, a recording musician, an amapiano artist, an actor, and a traveler as well. Let's talk about that situation. Khuliso Mudau not being picked, instead Nyiko Mobbie was picked.
Nkuleko mabrada kunjani mfethu? Ngibulisa Justice Benedict so. Nengosi kaMthobitho. Ebafethu kunjani, keep on supporting iDiskiTV, fighting no one try to fix South African football.
Indwana Katso is getting training with media ngoba njengoba sishuta njalo ila. Akana excuse yokuthi makafika ku18 angazi ukuthi shoota kanjani content.
No, utso madoda uzalile. Unenye imbewu nami engazi uChrist ngamcela kanjalo. Uphethe enye imbewu wrong. 8 kids bonke banama bayanephiwe ezihlukile. And it's true. Yabo maritama bel gifted Nkuleko. Ingwenya yabona masingaba neeffect singabhizi yale nale. Ekushayene mfethu ukudlala iChiefs nePirates consistency so. Akusimbuya Nkuleko. Yabo ushaw Brian. Ngiyangiqolele Grootman. Ngimhlonipha kakhulu. Ingwenya leya. Ingwenya leya. Ya Brian ngihlonipha kakhulu la Grootman ingwenya leya. Umthobitho beka no Brian phela bengimthemba kakhulu la Grootman. Bingwenya beyinokuye khona inithi ngo left or ngo right angisakhumbuli ubone basithuka bo Cyril Bate junior man buyani inzomakhiza ngama run of the ball nonkuleko mini i-acting kuvula vala obrigado ipiano yonke lento lezi mfethu mina ngibonga umuntu onjengawo cause without the only good has been given a platform brother ukuthi ngiye Tanzania bangibona abanye abantu being linked with these guys men 05 base German Bundesliga ku First Tech Africa ngibonga mfethu mina opportunity ngengikhohle la yonke lento iqalelo the person who believed in me phela kuze kuvulekele eminyango mfethu nesandla esikhulu I don't care usizwa unfortunately var Nkuleko truly amazing masenza so ayilimazi Sundowns ayilimazi Kurish ayilimazi mhlambe ilimaza national what they do now it's favor and this thing has been happening all years and ayiqali ngo Hugo Broos kuyenze but now ukuthi simprove ngithi asisabheki la sibuya khona sesikhuluma ngamanje current situation if this guy is a defender of the season is playing Champions League he won the league DStv Premiership is playing regularly currently the best defender nambe ngimdoubt amakafika ku Sundowns and then Nyiko Mobbie udlala isikhukhune ongadlala iChampions League I mean I watch Nyiko Mobbie udlala ku national team against France other games as well the way he's applying a corner you can't compare truly speaking it doesn't make sense currently the guy we deserve to play ahead of this guy ne call up ekumela abambiza adlale 90 minutes unless uyalimala or kube nama blunder wenzayo uNyiko bebangam and I understand Hugo Broos ilento yabona kuba predictable I think uzitshelile arrogance leso ilento ukuthi ube program uzitshela ukuthi mina I don't care ukuthi lo wenzani I call him doesn't make sense I mean truly speaking njoba ngitshela I mean ama point engiwakhuluma manje abaleke kakhulu this guy is a defender of the season he won the DStv Premiership playing regularly Sundowns is playing regularly and badlala Champions League Downs he did very well na ku Champions League unfortunately coach ang understand uNyiko I'm not saying his team has improved compared to last season. It's Kukune, but I don't change ukuthi abe better ulo abe better than Mudau.
Yeah, I need to ask you this. Can you try and understand because every position it's competition. Left back uzothi okay, man to man mangifaka uTsepo Masilela instead of maybe Bradley Cannell, even though they never played at the same time. You will say, okay, this one can take free kicks, this one can run, this one is better defensively, Mara on the final third is poor. Man to man, Nyiko Mudau, what could be the logic of that coach? Ukuthi lo ngimchuza ukuthi ungcono kule aspect.
I watch Nyiko Mobbie emagameni a competitive France. Ngikhuluma nge-national team manje. Ngimbonile uNyiko Mobbie 1v1 he can't deal ne-1v1 uyaba nenkinga noMbappe this guy Mudau can deal ne-1v1 I'm sure if that yadlala noMbappe I know Mbappe kwenye level I know but some 1v1 this guy can ubheke recovery yalomchita recovery boyithu asiqale nge-recovery 1v1 he can deal recovery mamdlulile i-1v1 he can recover now it's just that njoba ngisho technically pound to pound they are more or less the same ukhaba ibhola banamankinga ye-final ball yabo ukuthi mabacrossa boyithu bacrossa amabhola on top mhlambe phezulu speed I think this guy is also better ngikhuluma nangu yena uMudau balance enyaweni i-recovery phela ngeke uzobe nayo ungana balance so improvement ucheck Sundowns kunama player yabona compliment i-training yabo improvement beyangekho sokuplay clippers bekuyiwinga bamconverta to right back right wing back so yamjita lo na manje makudlalwa let's say team is playing is far better in terms of decision making no cover distance ubheke tactical is much better uyakwazi ukuthi akubeke lapha ureceive eqala alwini ibhola tactically awareness yakhe is much better is improve so uNyiko Mobbie umuntu hard uyawenza ama-foul unnecessarily mina for mina ukuba late uNyiko mina nkuleko is hard umuntu oyi-hard tackler makakutholile ikayi-2 kusala ibhola okusala wena into good webhayi ngayo but ukuze kunoMudau ukuthi angaba yile zinto lezi engisho ukuthi uMudau kwenye level my brother so nkuleko ne-experience ukuthi udlala i-Champions League this guy experience is not the same and he's won the e-league and if I'm not mistaken this guy nkuleko mfethu noma bekadlala ku-national team ubheka i-different bekathi makadlala singisho amagame bebangambizi regularly but amagame awathola i-1-2 look at i-performance i-different iningi kakhulu so yeah Ivar.
Okay, there you go. Thank you very much, Mr. Khanye Tso Vilakazi. Please come through, sir. It's very interesting, of course, because I think sometimes the coach unokubonisa ukuthi these are the players that I'm choosing to move forward with. Noma ningathini noma ngenzeka kanjani, it has nothing to do with performance. He's chosen his right back. Other people could suspect ukuthi is there anything that has to do with agents? Because of course football is about performance. If you are going to overlook your performance, what else are you basing this on? Does it mean ukuthi you made a promise to an agent once ukuthi ngibambise intwanana encane esandleni, I will always call this player? Because on performance we know who is the best right back in this country.
Mr. Kunjani mfethu ngibulisa wena ngibulisa Junior ngibulisa Justice ngibulisa nana emakhaya ngicela support njalo la iDiskiTV ngizobe nje njalo ngijike futhi Mr. Ngiyo I would say njengoba we didn't have games during the week, I just had time to look at the overall football in South Africa. Mr. Ngiyo, I find a point of why I will say the media is defending the coach. Yeah, I ngitholile and I just want us to look at it. Mr. Ngiyo, if tinema timini, I will have a player of the season from a team in, and then next season I don't play that player. How do I expect the coach to play my players and choose them over other players when me na a team in I don't show a player? I can't have a player a defender of the season, and then next season I'm loan.
Oh yeah, I remember actually I had that thought, Mara. I think it has nothing to do with this point, but I get this point being about Laila K.
Yes.
I remember that I was reading something. Uguti is going back to Sundowns. Cape Town said he's not going to renew him in terms of a loan or extend his loan stay. And I was like, damn, this guy was defender of the season the other season, and he didn't play. So it's I get what you're saying. Although for a national team coach, you have these players. They are the best in their positions. You choose them based on that. It has nothing to do with the club as well.
Remember, Mr. Kew, that I'm going to be saying we select players based on the current performance.
Yes.
But if the player will be selected, I mean, as a player of the season, and then remember what team, when we are selected, when we choose as player of the season, we go and be the national team. Hugo Broos. And then
Which one are you talking about?
Defender of the season. Defender of the season. Why ngibeka kanjalo ngifuna ukuthi mase ngiya ku point ka Mudau so that sibone yonke lento ukuthi it doesn't only start with the national team coach. It starts from a team. If a team we're not going to do the right things, then let's not expect the coach lapaya. Ngoba Ulai from there defender of the season they na kisha alone.
That's a brilliant point. I didn't look at it that way. But I thought about this as I was reading what he's not going back to is going back to Sundowns, and I was like, damn. So this guy was loaned on the same season that he was player of the season. That's crass. Like on any level that you look at it, that's ridiculous. It is ridiculous unless they were calculating what he's aging a bit and his powers are slowing down. I just think maybe they just had too many players on that position, and it's ridiculous that a player can be player of the defender of the season and him not having a place to start on the team. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah, and then when you go now, go Mudau, Khuliso Mudau, no, Nyiko Mobbie. Look, for me, I'm not surprised because we've seen Uguti from Sundowns. I'm a player of the season with Sundowns. Chances are the following season they're out.
It doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen all the time.
Recently, remember that Uteruk was one of those players.
Oh, yeah,
then
one of the defenders
out,
yeah.
And then Wasiguba Olali like Naye to. Now Khuliso Mudau, we just hope it's not going to happen. But yes, when you look at the qualities between the two, yes, we will always say the experience of Mudau playing a Champions League, playing against the top and other teams, it plays a part, And again, when you're gonna play against that team, you need to make sure that you do your research as a coach to say, okay, Sundowns they did played against this team. It means they do have an upper hand. And again, you look at study that game of Sundowns against Wydad Uguti. Sundowns was a better team compared to them. It's just that those mistakes. It's something that happens, and then the very same player that made mistakes first leg and the second leg is in the national team.
That's why it's something to argue about, Linda, by your selection. I wanted us to just zoom in on one player because I know that everyone is just talking about this one position. Uguti Mudau, Nyiko Mobbie, because we can talk about Abomayo, we can talk about Ukubamelo Kodisang, but that happens every Bafana. To me, it's even boring because every time we select a team, there's like 8 other players you will talk about, blah, 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 blah. But I think this one is such a glaring one. But maybe last one, so to you, is this a way of a coach to say, I'm not going to pick this player, he's not my first option? Do you think there's a way for Mudau to even go to AFCON next year and play under Hugo Broos if Hugo Broos is still the coach?
I doubt because if you can put a player with a crucial game and then what do you think he's an important player when you go to AFCON? So, but it doesn't stop him to continue work hard. Mr. Q, the said part is comparing Nyiko Mobbie, but at the end of the day, it's going back to the coach, and the coach will tell you that I've won the last game, I've qualified, I've gone. What do you want from me? And really, in the
but we were there. We watched how he struggled against Liberia.
Yes.
We were there. We saw how they struggled against France. Again, we'll be here when Morocco beats them, unless Morocco, because they've already qualified, unless they call their under-23 team or something like that. But we watch all of these games. But just lastly on that point, he will not go to AFCON, in your opinion?
Well, I'm charged just to Khuliso Mudau, but if angeko with the team yamanje, because I think they're about 22 manch. If I get good at 22 manch, chances are he's not going to make it. AFCON.
Okay, there's a long time between now and the African Cup of Nations. You still have a new season to prove with your performances that you deserve. Of course, you've proven this season. There's nothing else to prove, but maybe people will drop off. Maybe Nyiko Mobbie will drop off form extremely. I don't know. I don't wish that on him, but it's a whole season that we still have to play before we go to AFCON next year, because I think it's been moved to June, if I'm not mistaken, next year. So you still have the whole season to play. iDiskiTV, Diski Times, World Sports Betting. Thank you for watching us.